Well, hey folks, this is Ben Gessel. Just have some time here driving to a student's lesson this Friday, December 3rd, 2021. I have some thoughts for you guys. It's been a little bit since I've made my last video, I know. But this is going to kind of cover a variety of things, quite a variety of things. I have been a little busier as of late, it is true. Let's see here. First off, yeah, no joke, I just, like today I was just going like gangbusters, like answering phone calls, emails, getting ready for recital. All these, and then also all the Zoom stuff involved with doing a music recital. Putting on anything regarding recitals or being involved in orchestra rehearsals now, it's just, it's a zoo. And people are still confused, of course, about, well, everyone's confused about any kind of 100%, this is the law, or this is the way things should be, regarding COVID-19 and masks. And so on my end, I want everybody to wear masks, but I'm not going to insist that everybody's vaccinated. But I'm assuming that everybody's vaccinated that's going to this recital at this point. So it's that whole ball of wax, and I don't know. I have no idea what other teachers are doing, private music instructors, amongst others that are in a similar kind of vein of work. We just don't communicate very much with each other a lot of times. And to be honest, I think a lot of times there's kind of a feeling of competition. Because it's essentially a business. It's where business meets education, kind of thing. And I don't know, because of that, we just don't know from one person to the other person what everybody's doing, how everybody's handling all this stuff still. It is post-COVID, supposedly, and by the way, on that subject, I know you guys are sick and tired of hearing about this stuff, but, so I've been watching some videos by the Canadian Prepper and by others, and I've been hearing about all the new variants, Omicron variant, along with Delta, and at this point and they said Omicron is no worse than a flu, or it's like not even that, it's very, very mild situation. So why is everybody getting really scared about Omicron if it's only going to be like a common cold, essentially? There's a lot of different stuff going on about how dangerous this is. Now, I believed initially that COVID-19 was deadly, because it was deadly, and it killed a lot of people. And I was doing vitamin D, and I don't know if I did zinc so much, but I did like multivitamins and stuff. Maybe a little more than in the past, but vitamin D is going to be one of those constants I'm always going to be doing. And then there's a Delta variant, and then other people got sick, and I'm like, it's just kind of the same old thing, but different. It's not as big of a thing. We're all more fully vaccinated now. And then with this Omicron variant, I'm like, I'm not quite buying that it's all that bad. I don't believe it. Maybe very contagious, much more contagious than the other ones, but it's not it's not a big thing. And I could be mistaken. I've been mistaken before, but this is the third time we've had this, and we've been going on nearly 2 years of this nonsense. It's been affecting people's businesses, and so, okay. Aside from all that stuff, oh gosh, there was some other stuff I was going to mention. What was it? I've been watching some of Nick Johnson's stuff, and he puts out stuff about U.S. cities and best states to live in, worst states to live in. And it's a great channel. Nick Johnson. And he has this guy in his videos called Mappy. It's like Mappy's like his little buddy. It's, you know, it's not a real person. It's just so it's really fun. It's a really fun kind of thing that way. He also does documentaries. He does all kinds of stuff. It's a really fun channel. But he's put out some stuff recently. I just watched this today about oh yeah, Democrat-led cities, big cities, or liberal-run cities, and how bad of shape they're in. And I think it's just getting worse. So it's kind of looking like this. The rural areas of the United States are by and large doing great. Well, for the most part, yeah. But especially if you're talking about the big ranches in the West and stuff. But so rural areas doing great, suburban areas by and large doing great. The big cities are doing worse than usual. And usual is pretty bad. And it also depends, of course, the neighborhood you live in. And then enter all the stuff about, the same old stuff. Like you've heard time and time again about race and everything like that. So apparently, as it turns out, what's happening is African Americans in the big cities of the Northeast and Midwest are moving to the South, and they're causing certain southern cities to become more Democrat. Just like we thought was happening with Californians moving to Texas. I don't know how big of a thing this is. Besides African Americans, black folks only make up 13% of the population of the United States. So, and then many of them aren't doing that. So this is like probably not going to be a huge impact on the conservative population of the South in regards to political trains of thought here. You can definitely read it other respects than that, sure, but yeah, especially talking about the South. Goodness, oh, that's just certain areas of the South, right? Especially, but yeah, I mean, I'm actually, and there's some folks that I know that might even talk about this. They probably have, and they probably will. David Carroll for one. He's a gentleman, black guy, history professor. I know he should talk about this sort of thing. I think he probably already has at some level. So it's Cleveland, Chicago, Detroit, Philadelphia, Los Angeles, San Francisco, I guess Seattle, kind of, but more north. Yeah, and then I guess Minneapolis was included. I think, and then Washington D.C., Baltimore, Memphis. You guys know this. Houston, Dallas. Yeah. So most like Jacksonville was like one of the few bigger cities that was run by a Republican. All these cities have Democrat, leaders, and we would think, oh, that's great because they're helping everybody. Well, they've been helping everybody for the last, I don't know, like half century. For some cities, a full century, and the situation's worse than it has ever been. So it's like even if you were the most liberal person in existence, you still have to look at this and go, what is going on? What is wrong with the situation? And what's wrong with the situation is that when you're talking about things like homelessness and people addicted to drugs, there are certain things that work and certain things that do not work. And the more that Democrats understand this, the more they can get their cities in order. It's talking about the government leaders. You can't just keep taxing, getting all this money, then like taking half of it for yourself to go on these silly little vacations, and then whatever else supposedly goes down to programs are supposed to, be spending all this money for. To do what? To give people free stuff. Free stuff. And then lo and behold, the problems continue. Because giving people free stuff does not solve their problems. It doesn't solve homelessness. It doesn't solve drug abuse. It doesn't solve economics. It's like, and then what else? I mean, there's a whole host of social issues. Like giving people things doesn't help, doesn't solve, doesn't remedy. When you gave American Indians money and you put them on reservations, I personally believe things should get gone a lot differently. I don't know. That's different. I just never liked how American Indians were so wiped out. That's always bothered me. But anyway, just the way that diseases, I guess, happen. I don't know. It's hard to explain. So, but you gave American Indians free money, or whatever. There's other things that they're given, and lo and behold, a lot of them spend it on alcohol, or they spend it on going gambling, casinos. Not all American Indians. Many of them don't, of course, but quite a few do. I should know. I served my mission, church mission, in the Southwest Navajo Reservation. The Navajos were one of the tribes, one of the folks that didn't do that so much, but there were still some that did. But believe you me, some of these other tribes did a lot more. And that we're going to American Indians, man. How many other people can you think of that when you give them free stuff, that their problems will go away? It doesn't go away. Now, I'm not saying that we should do away with things like, oh man, getting that stimulus check, that was great. I think that was probably a good thing, but the question is, again, also with that stuff, is where is this money coming from? Well, it's always coming from us. Everything of value always comes from the people. And then when we get something back from the government, we think that it's like, oh, awesome, the government loves us. No. Everything comes from us. Everything. The government is nothing. And they've hoarded so much power and wealth for so long. Their time is coming. I mean, but what do we? If we are hardworking, if we have our lives more in order, we'll probably use that money wisely. But if we are, addicted to stuff, or we're, all over the map emotionally, I don't know. I mean, some of us probably didn't spend that money very wisely. I've heard of people that outright just took advantage of the whole system. And they did that because this is the U.S. government we're talking about. The U.S. government, I don't know what these guys are smoking. Are they just like somehow like, there's rumors of cocaine parties that go on in Washington D.C. a lot. Are they just high on cocaine all the time? I seriously like what are they doing with all the taxpayer money? Sorry, I didn't. So I just haven't, I haven't made a video for a bit. I just thought some of the stuff I haven't mentioned, at least super recently. Anyway, aside from all this stuff, I have a whole bunch of things I'm going to try to do. I'm finally getting to it as far as some musical things. It's been really hard to get to this stuff. Yeah. Anyway, I'm probably going to call this one good for now. There's probably a whole bunch of stuff I have to talk about, but I can't think of offhand what it is. My brain is just kind of feeling like jello a little bit right now. I mean, by the way, I've had nights where I was in Seattle and it was pitch black. Oh, that's something else I was going to mention. I almost forgot. It's been unusually dark recently, the last month or two. At least in Washington State. It's been cloudy, it's been rainy, more drizzly, but it's been really, really stinking dark. I know it's always dark at this time of year, of course. I'm kind of stating the obvious, but it's so dark that it's almost been hard to see when you're driving. And we still have, for some reason, local governments or state government think it's a good idea to, do construction at night when it's really dark and they don't have enough lights. I mean, thankfully, that if they wear fluorescent greenish yellow vests and the orangey things, thankfully that's something. But I mean, I cannot imagine right now how many accidents are going on, how dangerous that is to be working on projects late at night or having, you know, it's like almost, it's like you have to have your brights on in the, like when there's street lamps, you know. That's insane. That's insane. And yeah, I can only imagine that traffic accidents are gonna get worse and worse. I mean, as it is, by the way, right now, and I'm gonna check on, after I'm done with this video, just how long it's gonna take to get to South Seattle. But you know, there's a student that I have. It's already stop and go just when you get to Northgate in Seattle. Already, 1:27 p.m. Already. It's like you go a little bit and then you stop. You go, and you know, so I'm probably gonna get to his house at 2. Probably. It's ridiculous, man. Anyway, I do apologize about the things I'm not mentioning. My brain's a little bit fuzzy. But things are really busy right now. When I get more time, I will try to make some more videos, and awesome videos for you guys. Alright, talk to you guys later. Take care. Bye.